Hello, 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 my lovelies. Check this out. I'm sure many of you have been following the Gibson Dean saga. In May, um, a court ordered, after Gibson sued Dean, a court ordered that Dean did infringe on copyrights and awarded, but said their infringement was negligible. It stated that the Dean Z and V models, uh, which are probably the most popular models that Dean's been making since 1977, um, they look just like the Explorer and the Flying V, with the exception of the headstocks. The headstocks are different. Um, that being said, the judge ordered that they did infringe on Gibson's copyright and ordered Dean to pay Gibson $4,000. Yeah, whip-de-doo in the big music manufacturing world. That's not a lot of money, but they also had to pay over $300,000 in legal fees to Gibson. They had to pay their legal fees. Okay. Then the CEO, the then CEO, said, "Oh no, that's a victory for us. Gibson just thinks they had a victory, but it was our victory, and yeah, we have no intention of ceasing production of those guitars." And yada yada yada. And then he did a interview with Guitar.com and was boasting about how they're going to continue to manufacture the guitars and yada yada. Um, Gibson went and took him back to court. Oh, and actually, before Gibson took him back to court, um, after the first boasting, I guess the judge ordered Dean to stop manufacturing the V, the Z, and there's a couple other models and anything with the name Hummingbird. Um, and then there was more boasting to Guitar.com, which Dean, they're going to pay for that one because Gibson took him back to court, filed a suit saying that they're in contempt of court, used the interview with Guitar.com by their CEO as evidence, and now Dean has appealed the order. The CEO has been fired by his mother. This is where it gets weird. His mother fired him and took over the company and sued her son, for embezzling over $400,000 from his father's company. All right, the parent company of Dean Guitars is Armadillo Music. Dean Guitars was originally formed by Dean Zielinski in Chicago, right here in good old Chicago, Illinois, back in the 70s, and has been making guitars since the 70s, and they've been making some really good guitars. I've had now 3 Dean Vs. One was the VX, which was the cheapy bolt-on V, and that was a chunk. I didn't like it. I sold it pretty quickly. The other one was a Michael Schenker version of the V, and it had a weak neck joint. Every time I moved with the guitar, it went out of tune, and I took that guitar back. I didn't even keep it but a few days. Okay, and then I jumped on this one. Since it looks like there's no way that Dean is going to be able to win and be able to continue to manufacture these guitars that look like Gibsons. The Gibsons in question they've been manufactured by Gibson since the 50s. One of them looks like an SG, the V, and the Explorer, the Flying V and the Explorer. So I have this one. Now, I can see why Gibson is pissed. All right. This, yeah, I've always thought that this headstock was ridiculous looking, except on this guitar. On the V, it looks great. On the other guitars, it looked kind of stupid. But this thing is absolutely gorgeous. All right. Bound body, bound neck, Grover tuners. Um, these are custom pickups. They're called DMT time capsules. So they are made to sound. This is, by the way, the model is the V79. These are made to sound like the pickups did back in the 70s on the guitars that they were producing. From the factory setup was spot on. I just had to do just a slight tweak on the height. That was it. I mean, a real slight tweak. Neck, I didn't touch. I did not touch the neck relief. It was almost completely in tune. There was a couple of tuning keys that were out that needed to be retuned. Intonation seems to be dead on. This thing is an absolutely gorgeous guitar. Let me just get in here. All right, real abalone inlay. Okay. DMT time capsule pickups. Gold speed knobs. Lots of chrome. Like I said, Grover tuners. From what I understand, these are CTS pots for the 2 volume controls in the tone, and I think this might be a Switchcraft. And this is the part that really intrigued me. Let's see if I can do this. Let's see. Can you read that? There we go. Made in India. I have not seen guitars made in India before. They're usually made in Korea, Indonesia, and China, and Japan, if they're being made in Asia. India is different. It's the first guitar I've ever seen that was made in India. It's got a rosewood fretboard. And just a absolutely gorgeous piece. And I can see why Gibson's ticked off. This guitar, the Dean V79, comes in at a lower price point than the almost identical model by Epiphone, which is Gibson's offshore brand. The 58 Carina. I don't know if it's actually made out of Carina wood anymore, though. I think they're just calling it the 58. This thing is mahogany body, mahogany neck and headstock, rosewood fretboard. But like I said, binding on the body and neck. The Epiphone model, which is, I mean, very similar. It's got the same kind of tailpiece. It's a string-through body. The pickups, the controls are aligned the same way. This is pretty much the same, although this is much thicker. It's a heftier piece of metal than they put on the Epiphone. Looks very, very similar. Epiphone puts the strap nut here, and Dean puts theirs on the back, which I prefer. The Epiphone model is, I think it's $80 more. It does not have any binding. It does not come with Grover tuners. It comes with an Epiphone branded tuner. It does have, I think, it does have a set of Gibson pickups in it, ProBuckers, or maybe they're Epiphone's version of a ProBucker. I don't know if they're actually Gibson's. Yeah, you get with this for $80 less. You know, it's a gloss finish. You get more features and bling than you do with the Epiphone. And this thing sounds phenomenal. I will do a review of it, a proper review where I plug it in and we go through some sounds. But I've already played it a bit. I mean, first when I first got it, first thing I did was play some UFO, because what else do you play on a Flying V? UFO or Judas Priest? Haven't played any Priest on it yet, but I played some UFO on it. I played uh, Lights Out and Rock Bottom. Good stuff. But yeah, I can see why Gibson's mad. Plus, I mean, Michael Schenker, who was a long time um, Gibson Flying V user, went to Dean a long time ago. Um, and bottom line is, I've had Gibson Vs, and actually the last Gibson V I had was a real chunk of crap. I really didn't like it. Um, I changed the pickups in it because I didn't like the pickups that it came with. It came with these Dirty Finger Plus pickups that were just all frickin' noise, way too much gain, way too hot. Um, the guitar didn't sound good. It didn't stay in tune. It wasn't great. Um, that thing, I was kind of glad to get rid of it because it was a waste of money. But now kept the case though. I still have the Gibson case that it came with. It's actually a gig bag. So this is the case that Flying V came in. So this Flying V will be going in it, which I think is funny. Maybe that's tacky to be putting my Dean V in a Gibson case, but it'll be interesting to see where this all plays out. But we know what happened when Gibson went against. They went after Ibanez for doing the exact same thing. Ibanez was making models of guitars that looked identical to Gibson guitars, and Gibson was all over them, and they won that lawsuit, and Ibanez had to stop making those guitars. So I think we're seeing the last of the V's and the Z's, or the Dean Flying V and Dean Explorers. So if you're going to buy one, if you've been thinking about buying one, you better jump on it now, because once this last run they did is gone, you're not gonna see them. And I mean, if Gibson gets an injunction that prohibits them from selling any existing stock that they have and shipping it to distributors, they're gone. They're done. Because if you look at the distributors now, they're all out of stock on most of them. This one was the last one in stock at the seller that I do business with. Now they're saying that next month they're supposed to get more in, but I'm betting, and I'm going to be watching this daily to see if the dates change, but I'm betting that they won't be coming in. We're not going to see any more Z's and V's out of Dean. So, this could end up being an investment. I know that the lawsuit era Ibanez guitars are actually selling for quite a bit more than they were new now, and they were nowhere near as good as these things. These are gorgeous. Good playing, beautiful low action, nice sound. It came with D'Addario 9s on it. I'm probably going to pull those off and put some 10s on it and reset the neck and intonation for 10s, but because I like a heavier string. They seem a little weak as far as the bend, because I'm pretty aggressive, so I need a heavier string. So I'm probably going to go with 10s. But yeah, this thing is it's an incredible guitar. I'm really impressed with this one. What you get for the money, I mean, they're beating Epiphone. So that's not only is Gibson mad because they're imitating a Gibson body shape, Gibson style guitar, They make those guitars in Asia, in China, under the Epiphone name, and these are coming in at a better price point than their offshore brand. And this is made in India. This is every bit as nice as any Gibson I've ever played. And I've had several Gibsons in here. Right now I've got 2 Gibson basses. I don't have any more Gibson guitars. I sold my Gibson guitars. I have a Gibson Thunderbird non-reverse bass, and I have a Gibson EB5 bass. Those are the 2 Gibsons that I own. And those I'll keep, but I don't have any more guitars. I'm astounded that they're able to produce this kind of quality. I mean, the fret job is perfect. There's no fret ends sticking out on either side of the neck. It's not going to, like a lot of the cheaper guitars, you have to do a fret job right out of the gate. You have to dress the frets, and you have to level and crown them, because the fret jobs are terrible. This fret job is beautiful. This action is super low. I mean, you just touch these strings, and they're down on the frets. The only thing I'm going to change on it is, of course, the strap nuts. I'm going to put some strap locks on it and get rid of the standard strap nuts. Other than that, I'm not going to change a thing. This is a beautiful guitar, great pickups, gorgeous look, high quality. I can't believe it. And their USA-made V79 is, I think it's like a $3,000 guitar. So I mean, if the thing being made in India is this high quality, man, I would love to put my hands on a USA-made V79 and see what that thing plays like, because this thing's just wonderful. So we'll see what happens. Gibson and Dean are going back to court. Like I said, Dean has appealed the ruling. The CEO's mother fired him and took over the company, which just kills me. I think that's hilarious. His mom fired him and took over, and sued him for embezzling money from his father's company. So I guess the guy that was running Dean Guitars and Armadillo Music was kind of a shady guy, and as it seems, not too bright if he's going to brag like that, because that got him in trouble. So we'll see what happens, but I'm telling you, if you've been thinking about getting one of these Deans, do it now before they're all gone, because I got a feeling once they're gone, we're not going to see them anymore. You'll see them on the used market, and my guess is, because of the history here and what's going on and the fact that Gibson has sued him and it's gone back and forth and it's kind of crazy, it's almost trailer parkish, the price is going to go up on these, and they'll actually be an investment. So get in on it now while you can. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope y'all have a great day. Keep an eye out for what's going on with Gibson and Dean. If you hear anything, shoot me a message, comment on this video, and let me know what you heard, and cite your references. If you're gonna bring me any information, I want to know where it came from. Have a good one, and Guitar Max, thank you for your reports on this. I've been watching you, and I've been following this saga by and large through your reports and through other written stuff online. But I've seen all the reports you put up about this issue, and I want to thank you. Anyway, have a great day, guys. God bless. Keep on rocking. Peace.